In this video, I'm gonna combine some simple design principles, techniques, and some gold leaf to create the ultimate fall-inspired painting. So grab a warm beverage, sit back, and enjoy. A very underappreciated but great way to start a painting is by painting the very darkest areas first. The idea behind this approach is to create what could be called anchor points throughout the painting. Having the very darkest areas of the painting in place helps me judge how light or dark the colors surrounding those areas are. And whenever I move to a different area of the painting, I have some paint there that I can compare my colors to. Judging how light or dark a color is not that easy. Sometimes almost impossible without the right colors surrounding it. But if you have some paint on the canvas that you know is right, like all the dark or black areas of the painting, it acts as little safe havens that help you better see the right colors. The way I usually tend to go about painting skin, albeit loosely, is to paint the darker areas first and then slowly work my way towards the lighter colors. There is always a certain mystery surrounding skin tones, and there are a bunch of reasons for why that is the case, but the reality is painting skin isn't any different from painting anything else. The most important thing to keep in mind is this. Just like how a red apple isn't just one solid red color, the color of skin isn't made up of just one color. If you take a closer look at the back of your hand, for example, you will find that there are darker and lighter spots, and warmer and cooler areas. Like most, or even all natural things, if you look closely, you will find that what appears to be one color is actually a collection of many different colors. Variations of cool and warm grays, to be precise. And the truth is, the exact colors really aren't that important. Skin comes in all kinds of different colors. And it doesn't matter if it's a bit greener or more gray or more red. The only thing that matters is that there's at least some variation to the color. But instead of stressing too much about the color of the skin, what I generally prefer to focus on is interesting color combinations and creating movement and form with differently sized brushes and longer and more flowing movements. The next part of the painting is the setup phase for the final design of the whole composition. And it's pretty straightforward. I loosely paint the leaves in her hair and then I continue to fill out the rest of the painting. This is also the part where tinting the wood panel pays off. At the beginning of the video you saw me tint the whole surface of the painting with a brownish acrylic wash. And the reason I did that was this exact moment. To create a contrast for the cool background. From the very beginning I was setting up an interplay between the warm skin tones and the leaves and the cool background. And the brown underpainting helped me amplify this effect and tie all the components of the painting together. With all the major parts of the painting in place, I go back to certain areas and I start to refine things and add some detail. For this painting, my biggest focus is the ear. Painting the profile view of the face comes with a few challenges. One being the fact that the most prominent feature of the face, from this angle, is the ear, which is incredibly easy to mess up. Usually, you can get away with suggesting ears in a portrait, because they aren't the center of focus anyway, but unfortunately, in this case, that doesn't work. Since it's such a prominent feature here, I take my time with this part and I pay close attention to accurately capture the intricate form of the ear and to give it a healthy amount of depth. I also refine and blend some of the other important areas, focusing mostly on the features that create the most form, like the cheekbones. And I rework some leaves. I don't want these quote-unquote design elements to stand out too much, but I also don't want them to be completely flat abstract shapes. So I selectively pick and choose parts that get refined until I'm happy with the balance between the abstract elements and the realistic ones. And one more thing, I also adjust the brightness of the background to make the figure stand out even more. And then it's time to finally move on to the pièce de résistance. For the gold leaf elements, I first take off the tape that I used to mask off one of the leaves at the very beginning, and then I apply a thin coat of adhesive that I let dry for half an hour before applying the gold. Now, if you've never touched gold leaf before or seen someone else handle it, this is probably going to be a huge mess, but the basic idea is simple. Get the gold leaf as evenly as possible onto the glued area and then brush off all the excess. But caution, once the gold touches the adhesive, there's pretty much no going back. Since this is real gold leaf, this part can be incredibly tricky and frustrating. Ideally, one would mask off the whole painting to protect it while applying the gold leaf, because otherwise the gold will stick to every area that's even remotely tacky. But I didn't do that because this actually works to my advantage in this case. Having the gold leaf stick to the painting in a way that's a bit more messy and organic beautifully mimics the abstractions that already exist throughout the painting. And after cleaning up some of the edges, we have ourselves a nice gilded design element that perfectly rounds off our little fall composition. Maybe it's because fall is my favorite season of the year, maybe it's because of the colors, or maybe it's the simplicity of the whole painting, but I couldn't be happier with how this one turned out. Painting a side profile is one of those things that's super easy to paint, but very hard to turn into an interesting and unique composition. I used some fall imagery, simple design principles, and a specific color composition, with a bit of gold, to pull this off, but of course, this is just my own way of doing things. There are many different ways, styles and techniques to create paintings that go above and beyond, but at the very least I hope this could inspire you to go out and get creative yourself and to create something of your own with the simple techniques and principles that I showed you in this video. Friends, thank you all so much for watching. If you made it this far into the video, then consider subscribing to the channel and giving the video a like. That way, you also won't miss the next video, which you really don't want to do because that is not the way. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, or get a look behind the scenes, or just support the channel because you are an awesome human being, there are a number of ways you can do so. Namely, a Patreon campaign with a bunch of cool rewards, but you can also, alternatively, head over to my shop and grab yourself a print, for example. But with that being said, guys, we're gonna bring this video to an end. Special thanks to all patrons of the channel for being so amazing and making these videos possible, and thank you all out there for watching, guys. Please hit like, subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and Yeah. Have a good one.